Hear ye, hear ye. Welcome to session 2 of Esoteric Salon. Today's topic is for the astrologically curious and the astrologically skeptical. We shall get oriented into the world of astrology. Is it truth? Is it lies? Are you being swindled about your sun sign or your big three? What is it? And with that, let the jousting begin! Good day, everybody. This is your host, Mariah Herself. Today, my mug has a stegasaurus on it. It's fantastic. In today's ramble, I would like to share some of my perspective about the world of astrology. I am hoping to give you a lay of the land, so to speak, so you can get oriented into this world of astrology, whether you're coming to it from a curious place or a skeptical place. Let's begin where astrology begins, and that is literally when human beings existed. Because as long as there's been a human being, there's been a person looking up at the sky, looking at stars and planets and going, whoa, oh my goodness, look at that. What in the world? Wait, did you see that? What do you think that is? What do you think is out there? What do you think this means? In every culture, there's been people looking to the sky, looking at the stars and the planets and the sun and the moon, and using it to inform them about the cycles of nature. Farmers would use the sky to help them know when to plant things, when to harvest them. Generations of knowledge and curiosity have fermented down into these amazing approaches, these amazing traditions of understanding cycles in nature and in people. Astrology is a cultural collection of knowledge to derive insight and understanding, to look at connections and correlations. These incredible and insightful practices are inherently rooted in cultural significance and philosophy. There is no one end-all, be-all type of astrology. And I don't think that devalues the value of astrology at all. I think, if anything, the fact that astrology is so varied and expressive enriches it. If we consider astrology to be more like poetry, where there's a certain structure that needs to be present in order for it to be poetry, but the actual artfulness of it being expressed and communicated is a completely unique style. And it comes from these really interesting reserves that we have within ourselves that are built on experience and significance, belief, emotion. All of that is valuable, and it contributes to a unique style of expression and communication. I have my preferences of certain styles and methodologies, certain lineages, traditions, whatever you'd like to call it, of astrology. There's certain styles that resonate with me, and there's other ones that they don't really resonate with me, but I still want to learn about them. There's always something to learn in studying and examining another person's approach to something. Even if you disagree with it, there's something valuable there. And I think that it's respectable that there's something that has worked and is predictable in if we use this approach and this mindset, if we follow this perspective and we go through in this manner, we arrive at certain conclusions. And I think that that's pretty cool and worthy of noticing. Astrology began with observation, with observing the sky and then observing people. It's all about perspective of us standing here looking out in a certain way up at the sky. And I think that it does something that kind of spooks us a little bit of being able to look out in this way, and then it expands our perspective inside of us as well when we start looking at and making different connections. And that's really valuable. We're always looking, we're taking thousands of personality tests. There's tons of personality tests out there now of people just trying to get some insight into these real things about themselves. And everybody's curious, but they're not really sure where to look. I think astrology has so many unique perspectives to start finding places to look and to start having some questions come up and shaking up all the stuff that you need to get shaken up to start letting you feel alive again and letting you question and be curious and engage with your life. The questions that arise within astrology are definitely all philosophical in nature, and it sheds a light on some beliefs that you've had that maybe you didn't even realize that you had. What if I looked at something and I told you something different about yourself? And I don't even need an astrology chart for that. We can just spend some time together and make observations about each other with the way that we talk, the way that we dress. All of the observations and questions that come up fuel our creativity, and the expression just starts bubbling. And then it starts creating some momentum of innovation and growth. I think that we can do this within ourselves. And then as we do that, it starts bubbling up within our culture and we see cultural shifts. And it all starts with you being curious of, who are you? What do you believe about yourself? If you saw something different, if you tried out a different idea about who you are and why you do what you do or what you were even doing, would that solidify how you see yourself? Or would you want to be different? What would happen if you tried out a different way of thinking about yourself? What is your idea about life? Why it exists, what we're doing here? What is your idea about any higher power or some sort of sacred, divine God force or lack thereof? How does that inform how you live your life in ways that maybe are largely unconscious to you? I like the Carl Jung quote where it was something like, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Astrology brings up so many philosophical and ethical questions that I think are extremely worthy of consideration. This surprising and beautiful phenomena of astrology has so much to offer us, and we have so much to offer each other by exploring it together. It challenges us to have conversations and grapple with difficult and unanswerable things like fate and free will. So, to the astrologically curious and the astrologically skeptical, I present to you this idea. Astrology, in and of itself, is not some supernatural power. It is not God itself, but it might make you think about those things. Astrology is a tool. It's a collection of knowledge to be known or not to be known. It is varied expressions of systematic insight, of cultural significance, historical significance, and you get to decide when you encounter astrology if it's of personal significance as well. Thank you for joining me today. My cup is empty now and my heart is full. I'm planning for session 3 to be focused more on a technical scoop about astrology. So if that interests you, stay tuned for that. And until next time, walk with care and courage and be well.